Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
You can't build financial freedom if you don't know the price of your peace.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Okay, everyone, you see that we on this roll right now, talking about finances. And again, I'm not an expert in it. I'm not an accountant. I'm just giving you personal situations that I've had to deal with over a period of time. And here's something that today I would like for you to consider. That before leaving your job or fully committing to your business, I would like for you to calculate how much you need to survive each month. So before we talked about having an emergency fund, maybe even eliminating a few little debts, being your credit cards or things like that. But here's some other parts of that idea that we don't talk about as often. And I see myself speaking with my daughter about it right now, which is, what is the true cost of, number one, housing? Maurice, rent is housing, right? So let's look at this in totality. So if you're just talking about a roof over your head, yes, that's one thing. But I just want to be clear that there's other parts to housing that we need to consider. So number one would be food. How much food do you spend? How much money do you spend on food every month? I would like for you to consider, how much do you spend on food every month? Insurance. And we could look at insurance in multiple ways. Number one, if you're working a 9-to-5 and you have insurance, health insurance, what does that cost? What is the cost for your dental insurance? How about vision? And or mental health? What is the cost for all of the above? And I broke it down that way, and it could be broken down even more from ancillary services, durable medical equipment, prescriptions, so who's taking care of all these things when we're talking about insurance? How does all that get paid? Have you called an insurance company to see how much it would cost to cover you every month? What is that true cost? Another part of insurance is, where are you living? Are you living in a house? Are you living in an apartment? Are you living with a roommate? But is there anything that you might have to do from renter's insurance, mortgage insurance, homeowner's insurance? In addition to that, how about auto insurance? So when it comes down to these things that are just relative, basic necessities, what is that price? What is that number in order for you to cover just the basics? Again, we're talking about the basics. We haven't talked about getting business insurance yet. But what does it cost for you to have just your basic needs covered? So in addition to your savings that you put together, what is the essential expenses that you need to have? So now, does that $2,000 now turn to $3,500 because you may not have considered all those things? And here are some of the other things that you have to consider from a housing perspective. How about internet? TV service, cable service. How about all those other subscriptions that you are taking on every month, just from a TV watching perspective? How many of you are out there having subscriptions for food? HelloFresh or any of those type of things that people are having food delivered to them so they don't have to go to the market because they feel as though they don't have time, which is a great service, mind you. I'm not sure how many of you have had food delivered to your home, not just fast food, but everyday essentials. I've done it once or twice. It's not often because I like to go and touch my product, but I've had it done once or twice just for time-saving purposes, and it was fabulous. So how many of you out there that are not taking these things, these monthly housing numbers that you need to hit every month? And do you have that number saved somewhere? Do you have that spreadsheet put together today of what all your expenses are, and maybe over a period of time, just to see if there's any spikes, even in some of those things? Because keep in mind, each one of these subscriptions are raising their prices, what feels like right now, anywhere between every 8 to 13 months. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying it's the truth, but those subscriptions feel like they're changing. And then, from a tax perspective of just having cable, sometimes, the federal taxes, the state taxes, the, use tax, whatever it is, there's other taxes that seem like those keep fluctuating as well. So here's why this matters. You can't hit a financial target that you haven't truly defined. You can't hit a financial target you haven't truly defined. And knowing this number removes the guesswork and possible panic. So if you know that your rent is $2,000 a month, but your cable, any other utilities, being electric, gas, waste management, all those other utilities, and all of your TV viewing options, your food, your insurance, all of that, it comes up to be $3,500 a month, because sometimes we don't realize that number kind of creeps up. And the other thing we don't always realize is that we have yet to put in entertainment. There's other facets of our spending that we don't always consider. So are you going out for someone's birthday this month? Well, how much did you spend? Oh, I just want to turn up with my friends. Well, that sounds good and fine, but how much did you spend? And it's not going to be the last time you do that, right? So understand, what is your real budget? What is that true money that's coming in? So before leaving your job or committing fully to your business, calculate exactly how much you need to survive every single month. And then you could get a clear picture on what your savings really need to be and what it really needs to look like. Remember, knowing the numbers removes the guesswork and the possible panic if you're falling short. Talk to you a little bit later.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.